Welcome back. Your time now is 6:50. Now, I know during this segment I go on and on and on about how much I love the recipes that we do, and I usually do. But during the winter months, we have a tendency to gravitate toward those comfort foods. So this morning, Chef Becky has a recipe that is going to make your family happy, and they're going to request it often. I love biscuits and gravy, and this is the perfect recipe for a weekend breakfast when you got guests in town.
In the kitchen.
It's time for another edition of In the Kitchen, and this week we are making one of the ultimate comfort foods, B&G biscuits and gravy.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Becky, and today I'm going to show you a recipe from one of my favorite restaurants in Portland called Mother's. That's her biscuits and gravy recipe.
I am so looking forward to this because I'm usually good with the biscuits, but the gravy always falls short for me, so you're going to show me how to do this properly.
It's a piece of cake, I'll show you.
Okay, what are the ingredients we're going to need here?
We have 6 cups of self-rising flour, 1/3 of a cup sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of kosher salt, 3/4 cup of unsalted butter that is cut into small pieces, and it needs to be very cold, 2 1/2 cups of buttermilk, 2 1/3 cups of heavy cream, and 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to start by adding the dry ingredients to the mixer. Just going to give it a quick stir. Now it's time to add the butter pieces. We're going to mix this for about 1 minute. Now we're going to add the cream and the buttermilk at the same time. We're going to mix it again until the ingredients are just moistened. I'm going to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl and mix it one more time. That looks good. So now I'm going to use this ice cream scooper. It's about 1/3 of a cup, and plop it down into the all-purpose flour. And Alan, will you toss it around in the flour and just shake off the excess and then place them in the baking pan?
And seriously, the homemade biscuits really make this recipe.
It's okay if you see chunks of butter or pockets of flour.
I was going to ask you about that.
That'll help make a nice flaky biscuit. If I have the oven preheated to 450 degrees, biscuits will bake for 10 minutes, and then I'll turn the temperature down to 375.
So while we are letting our biscuits bake, we are going to put together our gravy, and what do we need?
We need 1 1/2 pounds of breakfast flavor sausage. We're going to need 1/2 cup of flour. We might need some bacon fat if the pork sausage doesn't release enough fat. So this is just in case. 3 cups of whole milk, 3 cups of heavy cream, 1 1/2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of black pepper, 3/4 of a teaspoon of dried thyme, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now we're going to take the sausage over to the cooktop and brown it. So the biscuits have been baking for 10 minutes at 450, and now it's time to decrease the temperature to 375, and they'll bake for 25 more minutes. So now our sausage is cooked and crumbled. I'm going to use a slotted spoon to scoop out the sausage and leave the fat in the pan. So you can see it only made about 2 tablespoons of grease, so we're going to have to add some bacon fat today to get the fat up to 1/3 of a cup. Now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of flour to the fat and stir it over low heat, smoothing out the lumps for about 3 minutes. And this is technically called roux. I'm going to pull the pan off the heat and slowly add the milk. Once all of the milk has been added, we'll add the cream and bring the mixture to a boil. Now that it's boiling, we're going to add the sausage back to the pan and all of the spices, except the salt. We'll turn the heat down to a simmer, and it will cook for 30 minutes, and then we'll add the kosher salt. Oh, our biscuits are beautiful.
So the cooking times came out pretty close. We got the biscuits done, we've got the gravy done, and it's time to plate them up. And let me tell you again, the homemade biscuits I think is really what makes this spectacular.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want the recipe, of course, Chef Becky always has the recipes on her Facebook page, and we post it on our website at NBC16.com. That's going to do it for another edition of In the Kitchen. And of course, you have to split the biscuits because that way that gives you more surface to put that delicious gravy on. Oh, that was so good. Oh, I guess we'll continue on with the show after a good